Hi everyone, my name is Thea Charles and we are doing a Team LuLaRoe Forward webinar on recruiting. So we're really lucky today to have Jessica and Jennifer tell us about their LuLaRoe journey as leaders. So they're going to tell us about how long they've been in LuLaRoe, how many people are currently on their team, how many people are in the queue, and their recruiting style. So one of you ladies want to go first?
I can
Oh,
get it over with.
okay, you go.
All right.
Go.
All right. So I signed on under Thea right around Thanksgiving and got my initial inventory the first week in December. So that was December was a little bit of a slow month, but then it's picked up from there. I currently have two that have onboarded, five in the queue, and one of the girls under me has a girl under her that's in the queue. So my team would be eight if everybody was on. As far as my recruiting style goes, I can't say I've done much to actively recruit. I thought that initially I would just get going and maybe at some point start to recruit, and then people just started coming to me and seeing success. In Maine, there wasn't a lot of consultants at all when I signed on only 4 months ago. There's going to be more and more. Actually, a girl on my street signed up, not under me, under somebody else, but there's somebody literally two houses down. So I just let people come to me and ask questions, and I'm honest with them about the company and what the workload is and what it takes to make money. And people have been very interested.
Oh, thank you. Okay, Jen.
So, hi, I'm Jen Friedman. I'm in Framingham, Massachusetts here. I signed up with LuLaRoe in, I think it was end of June, beginning of July last year. And it's been a crazy, crazy journey. I never thought it was going to explode the way it did, because when you think like, oh my gosh, $5,000, $6,000 to join, like that's insane. But then we did it. I mean, we did it. So, I have a hard time telling people, well, it's a big investment. Don't do it. You know what I mean? Anyway, so if you guys don't know, I kind of like word vomit. That's how I talk. So, I have a team of 7 right now, and I have 8 in the queue, and I believe a couple of girls are submitting this week. My recruiting style is that I don't have a recruiting style, essentially, same as Jessica. Really, I just think it's about being yourself and sharing your journey and how it's helped you, and people will gravitate to you. And I get very, very excited whenever somebody even expresses the tiniest bit of interest. I'm like, whoa, really? Oh my gosh. So like I said, I kind of overdo it sometimes with how excited I get, and I like to offer up all the information I can. And I think because I came from a Beachbody background, I was a Beachbody coach, I still am. I've been doing that for a couple of years. And it's a different type of feel to it. It's like a tough sell, and it's really a difficult place to make money. That I think a lot of people come from other direct sales companies and didn't see the success that we're seeing with LuLaRoe, and so they have that in their head, like, oh, I'm going to fail. So I think having that background for myself has helped me be a little bit relatable with a lot of the people that have come to me. So I'm able to talk to them about their fears. I think a lot of it has to do with listening to them when they come to you and saying things like using the feel, felt, found technique. If you haven't used that before, like, I know how you feel, and this is how I felt, and what I found, kind of thing. And that kind of helps you relate and sound like you're, not that you're not listening to them, but it gives them that feedback. So.
I
Yeah,
think I
sorry,
definitely do that
I'm
too.
spewing again. So
Oh, no, you're
I
doing
don't know what you want us to talk about so much, though.
great. I'll ask some questions then.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So, so you kind of touch on this, Jen, a little bit, but what do you say to someone who's like, I think I want to do LuLaRoe, but I'm not really sure. They're just afraid. This is totally different. It's a big, fairly big commitment. So, what do you say to someone who's kind of they're interested, but they're not quite sure?
again, I love that feel, felt, found because it sounds very relatable to people. So I understand how you feel. I felt that way and I found, and kind of turn it back on them and get what is it that they want to do and get out of LuLaRoe. Okay, there was something else I was going to say and I totally lost my train of thought.
Are you a nurse too, Jen?
What?
Are you a nurse too?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you were a nurse too. I feel like that's something they taught us in nursing school, and I feel like I do it out of habit, but not because, I don't know why I do the same thing, but.
But I do tell people, like, if they even have the remote possibility that they might do it, submit your paperwork, get it in the queue, and if you change your mind, okay, but at least you put the information out there and you're getting the process going. And I've yet to have anybody that's done that back out. I think because then once we get them into the Q Club and on the other Facebook groups, and they get even more excited seeing everybody else out there. So I think that's like I try to make a big push for them to be like, come on, just get the paperwork in, and we'll worry about everything else later. Like we'll figure out your funding and we'll figure out what styles and all of that later.
That's a really good tip. Have you ever had anyone who you've been talking to and then they end up signing up with someone else?
Yeah. I'm sure we all have.
I think we all have.
Definitely, it stings a little bit when it happens, and I kind of, the girl that lives on my street, I did a party for her, like squeezed her in last minute because she's literally across the street, and stayed a couple hours late, neglecting my husband and my kids, and talked to her and talked to them all week long, and it was her and two other of her friends. Two of the girls live on my street. The third girl lives like down the road, and spent tons of time talking to them. And last I heard, they were like gonna have a meeting and figure out the finances and how everybody was gonna do everything. And then I messaged them like 3 days later, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we already sent in all our paperwork." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't think I gave you the contract." And she was like, "Oh well, there's this girl at our school that does it, and we thought we'd have better connections and see her more frequently because we work with her." I was like, "Well, that's not a good excuse because I live across the street from you, but okay." So it stung a little, but I think just keep your head up high, and she's actually coming to a party at my house here tomorrow, so we'll kind of see how that goes. But just keep your head up high, and I think definitely have your cry it out moment for a second. I might have messaged Thea and said, "All right, boohoo me," and then move on, because you don't want people like that on your team, and you think you attract people. Thea's told me multiple times, you attract people like you and that have the same drive as you and have the same intentions as you. So if there's people that aren't on the same page as you, then they should go be with another team and go from there.
And you ever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I'm echoing. Is it me?
I'm not sure if it's the program. I think I'm echoing too.
Okay, I was just turning down my volume. I didn't know if it was coming out of the speaker for me. Yeah, I've had a couple people that I've spent a lot of time with. One girl in particular I went to dinner with, and she left my house saying, "I'm going to send in my paperwork tonight." And then the next day I was added into her group, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't see the paperwork." And she's like, "Yeah, I decided to go with someone else because I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I've known her longer." And I was like, okay, and you know what, honestly, like, I get that because Thea knows I struggled with joining and who to join with because I knew people that had been in it longer, but I felt like I needed to go with what was a good fit for me. So I get it, and it's a business decision. It's not a personal thing. So I try to remember not to take it personally. It's not me. But again, like as Jessica said, you want people that are going to be your tribe. They're going to be people like you. So you know what? You brush it off, bless and release, wish some good luck, and it all works out in the end.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, it's happened to me too, and it stings. And after a while, you're just like, you know what? This all worked out for the better. My team is strong, and because I have all of you. So I just want to let everyone know who's attending. I think there are 2 people right now attending, but if you have a question, there is a chat section on, I think, the left-hand side. So if you have a question for these ladies, just let us know. Let me see if I can come up with another question. I don't know. Any other advice that you would give?
I just think it's about being yourself and not only in your own personal Facebook group, but also just in Facebook in general. You never know who's watching, So I'm not always the most positive, sunshiny person, but I try to come across that way on Facebook and try to, um, look at it like, what would I want to see from somebody else that I'm looking up to?
Right. And I can say it's true for the people that are on my team. Most of them weren't my customers. Like, Jen wasn't a customer. Jessica, you weren't a customer, and just kind of came out of the woodwork. So people are always watching you, no matter where you are. So you always want to be positive, and be proud of LuLaRoe and be proud of your business and everything that you're doing. Okay, so someone asked a question. How much do you promote the opportunity calls? On a weekly basis, or never, or when?
I think maybe twice I've put it on my page, that there's the opportunity calls. I thought most of my people, I'm just trying to think, two of them have been from doing it in person with them and they've seen the stuff, and they saw us setting up, and I think one of them was already thinking about it, Kayla Albright, who is just signed on. I think they were thinking of it because her husband was there the whole time, and they were grilling me from the second I walked in the door. And I did the same thing like Jennifer. I get really excited when people ask me questions and telling them about it and showing them the different things. And a couple of the girls have just been in my group, and like you said, may have not even bought from me before. But say I really like the way you run your group. I've seen other sales. I'm not really loving how they do their sales. I like how much you post. I like this. Different things, and so they like my style. And like you said, the way I portray on Facebook and the things I post, and so I've heard that a lot. Like the way you organize your stuff, and you seem to always be positive, and so I think that's the way I've gotten more people, by just going out and doing things and being upfront. I have a girl from Boston area that said she's been watching like 10 groups, and she contacted LuLaRoe, got all the information from LuLaRoe, and contacted me and literally said, I want to sign up under you. I chose you out of 10 people. So, like you said, it's very much about how you portray yourself and how you run your business, and what people think of you, because I didn't know her from anybody besides she's from Maine. So.
Yeah, haven't promoted the opportunity in my group in a while. I might occasionally say a few things. I think the last time, maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago, I mentioned about like, hey, take your tax money and join the business kind of thing. But I don't like to feel spammy or like icky about it either. So I try more to post things about, like, I do a ton of pop-ups in a weekend usually, so I will post a bunch of those, and then I've gotten people that come to me about that, like, oh wow, it's really cool that you do that kind of thing. And I think that shows more than just posting the opportunity. So no, I don't really do that much at all. And especially since I think it's a pre-recorded call now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
On the live one. So I think I would just send that to someone that might be interested. But I don't know. I still feel like there's more of a personal connection. I'd rather just get them on the phone. I've done a couple Google Hangouts with people that have been interested, or like met them for dinner or something like that, as opposed to just sending them off to an opportunity call.
My husband and I have done a Google Hangout too with a couple that wanted to. So we both got on the computer and did the Google Hangout with them, answered their questions.
That's a great idea with the Hangout. It's I mean, I always feel like this is a social type of job, so I always like to talk to people on the phone rather than just send them a couple things via email or text. I find a personal conversation goes a long way. Are there any other questions? Anything else to share, ladies?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, I think this was really great, and I thank you very much for sharing your stories. There are a lot of good points, and see you all next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.